Caitlin Clark has taken the basketball world by storm, and I think it's safe to say that we are witnessing the birth of a star. In case you live under a rock and don't know who Caitlin Clark is by now, let me help you out. Caitlin Clark is a basketball player for the Iowa Hawkeyes, and a very good one at that. At all levels she's played at, she's been heralded as one of the best. This past Sunday, Caitlin Clark and the Iowa Hawkeyes played in the NCAA Tournament championship game for the first time in the program's entire history versus LSU, a team looking for their first tournament championship in program history. This is a game that should be considered a legitimate landmark of progress for women's basketball. Sunday's championship game featured 9.9 million viewers. For comparison, according to Front Office Sports, that's more than any women's college basketball game ever, any MLS game ever, any Stanley Cup game since 1973, the 2023 Orange Bowl, the 2023 Sugar Bowl, 2023 Thursday Night Football, the 2021 NBA Finals, the 2020 MLB World Series, and more than any of the most recent MLB, NBA, and NFL All-Star festivities. Obviously, Caitlin is a star and has been drawing attention all over the country, but because everyone else is tuning in for her, many now get to witness a lot of other great talent that women's basketball already has. In my opinion, this is fantastic for the sport, and when the time comes for Caitlin to declare for the WNBA draft, it should be great for their league as well. There's a lot to discuss about Clark and her college success, but first, I want to take you back where it all started. Caitlin Clark is from a city called Des Moines, which is the capital and is the highest populated city of Iowa. Caitlin first started playing basketball when she was 5 years old, and at the time, was one of the few, if not only girls, in boys' leagues out of necessity according to her father. As early as the summer before 7th grade, Caitlin was getting recruited to D1 schools. Her first letter of interest came from Missouri State before she even stepped on the floor as a 7th grader. The following summer, going into 8th grade, Caitlin will be playing 15U with the All-Iowa Attack, and then eventually advancing to 16 and 17U in her summer before high school. Caitlin's parents will get calls left and right from different universities that had interest in recruiting her. Caitlin Clark will go on to play 4 years of varsity basketball at Dowling Catholic High School, where she would leave her mark.
1, 2, 3,
Caitlin Clark averaged over 30 a game in her junior and senior seasons, while also representing the United States on an international level, bringing 3 gold medals stateside. She competed in the FIBA Americas 16U in Argentina in 2017, winning gold there, then also competing in 19U in both Thailand and Hungary, bringing home gold medals in 2019 and 2021. Caitlin would lead her high school squad to a Class 5A regional final in her senior year, but they would fall short. Clark finished her high school career with 2,547 points, which is the 4th most amongst all girls basketball players in the state of Iowa. She also would be named to the McDonald's All-American team and would be invited to the Georgia Brand Classic, but both events were canceled due to the COVID-19 pandemic. After dominating the high school level, it was time for Caitlin Clark to decide where she wanted to play college ball. She would finish her career in high school rated as a 5-star recruit and was considered the 4th best player in her graduating class. Clark would eventually decide to play for the hometown team, committing to Iowa. A big influence for her to go there was the way the team plays, what head coach Lisa Blutter's experience with point guard development was like, and also being able to play for her home state. Caitlin Clark has been dominant on an individual level ever since she stepped on the floor for Iowa. Since the 01-02 season, which is as far back as Sports Reference tracks for women's basketball stats, only 23 women have shot over 1,000 threes in their career. Only one of those players averaged 20 or more a game. That one woman would be Kelsey Mitchell, who is currently one of the premier scorers in the WNBA right now. I believe this just goes to show how unique of a skill set Caitlin has and why she is so fun to watch. For her career, she was averaging 27.2 points per game while shooting 9.2 threes a game and converting them at a 37.7% clip. These include a lot of difficult shots too. Long-range threes, off the catch, off the dribble. She could do it all. The one player you could really only compare her to is Stephen Curry when he played for Davidson. Their shot profiles are pretty similar, as are the shooting splits. Steph in his junior year, his final year at Davidson, he averaged 28.6 points per game while shooting 9.9 threes per game, converting them at a 38.7% clip. They both have similar highlight factors, tight handles, and the ability to hit the three from any spot on the floor. As long as Caitlin continues to perform at her current level, there's a really good chance that she could finish her career as the top scorer in NCAA history. Kelsey Plum currently sits at the number 1 spot with 3,527 total points scored. As of now, Caitlin has 2,717 points scored in total. She would need just 810 points to tie. For reference, this past season she scored a total of 1,055 points, and in her sophomore season she scored 863. The road to the championship game was a long one, as they knocked off some notable programs along the way, including Louisville and Colorado, to reach the Final Four. In that Final Four matchup, Iowa had to face the South Carolina Gamecocks led by the legendary Dawn Staley. The Gamecocks coming into the Final Four matchup had not lost a game all season, and it would prove to be a hard-fought battle for both teams. It would be a 4-point lead for Iowa heading into the fourth quarter, where Caitlin Clark stole the show and displayed why she is one of the best. The Hawkeyes would score 18 in the fourth, Clark would score 16 of those 18 points and assist on the only other made basket from the team in the fourth quarter. They will go on to defeat South Carolina 77-73. Caitlin led all scorers on Championship Sunday, scoring 30 points and notching 8 assists, but it would not be enough to knock off a very talented LSU Tiger team. LSU will win their first title in program history, led by great performances from Jasmine Carson and LaDasia Williams. Although the team may have fell short, Caitlin had a magical tournament run, perhaps one of the best tournament runs we have ever seen. Caitlin set the scoring record for the most points ever in a single tournament run, with a total of 191. That is more than any man or woman has ever accumulated in a postseason run. Caitlin also averaged 10 assists a game over her postseason run, totaling 60, which is the most any woman has totaled in tournament history, just shy of Mark Wade's 61 assists during the UNLV run of 1987. She's also the first man or woman to record a 40-point triple-double in tournament history. She's also the first player ever to drop 40-plus points in back-to-back games in tournament history. When you take a look at her accolades across high school and college, it really is remarkable. Just to name a few on this long list, she was AP Player of the Year this year, Naismith College Player of the Year this year, USBWA National Player of the Year this year, 2-time first-team All-American, a second-team All-American in 2021, 3-time Dawn Staley Award winner. I mean, the list goes on and on and on and on. Caitlin will be at Iowa for one more year, as she is not yet eligible for the WNBA draft. In order to be eligible, she must be at least 22 years old during the year of the draft, be a graduate, or will graduate within 3 months of the draft. Currently, she's a junior and just turned 21 this past January. I can only imagine that she will be a top selection in the WNBA come 2024. There's a lot of time between now and then, as I'm sure that a lot of eyes will be on Caitlin Clark for the next calendar year.